Hey, welcome to Vegan Finds. Day something of Cajun Week. I'm not quite sure which day it is. And I guess it doesn't matter because I can post these out of order if I like. So this is day 3 of Cajun Week. Yes, it is day 3 of Cajun Week. Um, I forgot I did the Cajun cauliflower steaks yesterday. So tonight's dinner is going to be a mock Cajun seafood boil. As you can see, we got some peppers, we got some corn, we got some potatoes, we got some really tiny, cute little potatoes, onion, um, asparagus, mushroom, and this right here is dulse. This is going to add our seafood component to the meal. It's going to give it a more oceanic flavor than not having it. So, typically speaking, we would be adding either kelp or kombu to this as well to give it a seafood flavor. But A, I don't have any more kombu, and B, Doris, being allergic to seafood, is somewhat, we'll say, reticent about using products that mimic seafood, even though we're going to try and do a seafood series possibly next week that's going to have some mock seafood type products. They don't necessarily taste like seafood, so you she's not as scared of them as say using a lot of dulse. If I put that whole package in there, she may actually break out in hives. Now she wouldn't go into anaphylactic shock like if she ate some shrimp, but this would definitely give her some bad vibes. So what we have to do here to make our seafood boil is basically chop up the vegetables into more manageable pieces and cook it in some stock. Add some Cajun spices, and we're good to go. I mean, it's that simple. And so, one of the things I'm going to show you how to do is this requires a whole head of garlic. I'm not going to do a whole head of garlic for this particular dish simply because we had a very garlicky dish this afternoon, and Doris is not feeling the garlic right now. So, let me show you how to peel some garlic. We're going to get this pot emptied out. I'm going to chop up the onions, get this thing rolling, and we'll put this all together, lickety split, 15-20 minutes, and you got a delicious meal. Maybe we'll give it a half an hour. So I'll be back momentarily. It'll only feel like a blink of an eye to you, but it'll be a couple minutes for me. Okay, so here's a quick pro tip. Say you got a lot of garlic that you want to peel rather quickly. Uh, the best way to do it is take some really hot water, pour it on top, let it sit for a bit. That is okay. So you let it sit for about a minute, and you can see how easy the cloves peel off. These are some of the interior cloves, so they're a little bit tighter, but you can see much easier to peel. You don't have to smash the cloves. This one's coming right off, just like that, just like that. So it's simple, easy to do. Takes a couple seconds, so it makes it a lot easier to deal with garlic, especially if you're doing large quantities. So boil some water, pour it over your cloves, let it sit for a couple minutes till it's warm enough for you to handle, and peel away. Okay, so in my pan I've placed about 2 tablespoons of oil. I've got two, 1.5 chopped onions and about 10 garlic cloves whole. Now, normally speaking, I would be mincing this up real fine. I'd actually probably put it in a food processor to do it, but since Doris is just not feeling 100% with the garlic today, we're going to keep the garlic close hold so she can pick them out, and you'll get a little of the essence, but not a full blast of garlic. So we're going to saute this till the onions start to soften up and start to brown just a little bit. Then we'll start adding some of the other vegetables. Okay, so to my pot I'm adding a tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of minced dried onions, adding some the chopped shredded dulse, 2 tablespoons of Old Bay going in, tablespoon of paprika, of smoked paprika, smelling absolutely fabulous. We're using a tablespoon of filet powder, which, if you're not familiar, is a key component to gumbos. And this is akin to a gumbo. And we're using Paul Prudhomme's gumbo filet. For those of you who don't know who Paul Prudhomme is, he is one of the kings of the Louisiana cooking. Wonderful guy. Had the pleasure of meeting him one time. I love the way the filet powder smells. It smells so good. Gonna add the vegetable stock right about now. I almost forgot, one more key component is some celery seed. So I'm adding a teaspoon of celery seed to this. We're going to be adding 5 cups of stock. Ooh, that wasn't good. And we're using some organic vegetable stock. It's always preferable to make your own. If you got a lot of veggie scraps, don't throw them away. Throw them in a pot, cook them with some water, let it simmer down, and make some veggie stock. It's pretty easy. So I'm going to get the other container and I'm going to pour that in as well. So I'm adding the corn to the dish. So I've kind of cut my cobs into thirds here. Since they're going to take a little bit longer to cook than some of the other vegetables that we have. And since my potatoes are really super tiny, I don't think they're going to take that long to cook. So I'm going to let this cook for about 10 minutes before I add the other vegetables. As I work my way to cutting this last piece of corn. Ooh, had to use a little brute strength there. So we got our corn in. I'm going to let this cook for about 10 minutes and then start adding some of the other veggies. Okay, so I'm going to add my potatoes in now. Just cute little mix of different colored potatoes. We got red, we got purple, we got white. Looking mighty fine here. We're going to cook that for a little bit longer. Then we'll start adding in the peppers and the mushrooms. I might do the mushrooms in a minute. You know what? I'm going to chop up some asparagus and do that right now as well. You know, whatever vegetables you have on hand, whatever's, in season at the time, that's what you use. This is what I could get, so this is what I'm using. All right. So we got our asparagus in. Gonna chop up some mushrooms now. Okay, so I'm gonna add some mushrooms. All right, this is starting to look really good. Gonna let this cook for about 4 minutes more, and then gonna add the red peppers, and then we're gonna let this simmer down until it's all nicely well cooked and ready to eat. Okay, so now we're gonna add in our peppers. I did throw in a couple pieces of cauliflower that we had left over from the previous evening. And I'm making the white rice Cajun spice version because we were supposed to make that last night, but we got home too late from our daughter's graduation that we decided, you know what, we're going to skip the rice. We're just going to eat the steaks and call it an evening. So this is going to cook for another probably 8 minutes or so, and it'll be good to go. By then the rice will probably be done. The white rice only takes 12 minutes once the water's boiled, so that's a very fast cooking product as well. So we'll be ready soon. Folks, I just wanted to show you what the white rice looks like. It looks just like rice. I'm going to put a little bit in each of the bowls, and then I'm going to take a ladleful of the vegetables and pour it right on top. So I'll be back in a moment to show you what the final dish looks like. So there you have it. The Seafoodless seafood boil Cajun style. So if you like these recipes, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, and give us a thumbs up. And we hope that you're all safe. We hope that you enjoy everything, and we hope that you're well. So see you soon. We'll be back with another video soon.